It's new. Welcome back to It's New. And I got a new mic. Pretty nasal, congested, but you can hear that now.
You can
the
hear
mic,
all of it.
I can hear all of it. So hopefully this makes the sound quality a little better for those complaining. I apologize for being me. But I think we have things that we're not going to apologize on this podcast or whatever. I'm going to cover some June 1st ranking volatility. But Mordy, what are you going to talk about?
SEOs doing some SEO things to get into AI overviews.
And Greg?
And from the words of Google, they're not upset about those who share constructive feedback of our search results, which is great because there's a lot.
Bring on the feedback. All right. So I did a rare post on June 1st on a Sunday talking about a Google ranking search volatility update, whatever you want to call these things, which I always do because Google's always updating. And it's been weird this past month since the core update finished on April 19th, but they didn't tell us about it till later. Anyway, the whole month of May 3rd, May 9th, May 16th, May 22nd, and then June 1st, which is not a May. I understand that. It was crazy volatility. There's pretty big volatility this past weekend as well. And there's been a lot of chatter, especially for a weekend. The tools themselves, like SEMrush, SimilarWeb, Advanced Ranking, all of them, even Mozcast. I'm not saying even because Mozcast is a great tool, but all these tools are off the charts as of June 1st. And it seems like if you notice any big significant ranking changes over the weekend, you were definitely not alone. I'm wondering, because the past few weeks, it's mostly on weekends, not always. Maybe that time we had a bug with the Google weekends, like Google was like, oh yeah, we had this little bug, and every weekend we kind of changed the rankings and then put it back. I don't remember that. I'll put it in the show notes. Kind of reminds me of that, where Google actually admitted that, we had an issue only on weekends and we reverted that issue and they put it back. And they're like, oh, that explains all the volatility we're reporting for the past 2 months. So it kind of seems like somebody flipped that back on, pushed it out to GitHub, submitted it, pulled it back. But we'll see. I don't know if you guys are noticing anything there, but it's been fun to watch.
I've seen some sites that saw there was a surge in mid-May and then a reversal of that later in May, and now different sites seeing an early reversal and a quick reversal in June. One site, it's just real quick up before the weekend, down after the weekend kind of thing.
Yeah, I did ask a preview of XMX. I did ask Elizabeth Tucker, who announced the Google Core Update, are there baby core updates like there are baby pandas, specifically around this May volatility? And you have to wait to listen to that. I'm not going to tell you what she said because that's a tease to get you to subscribe and register.
How do we register for that, Barry?
I don't really. You Google XMX something and ask for Mordy.
I'm going to Google SMX something and see what shows up. XMS something.
On that, if you do find spam, what should you do with that, Greg?
Yeah, so there was a little bit of a thread in PSA that you put back out there about some of those manual action, or some of the spam reporting tool. Where does that go? What happens? Lily Ray on Twitter had said that she was surprised, doesn't surprise her how much of the stuff happens behind closed doors. To which Danny Sullivan came out on his search liaison handle and said that last year we did this in the public blog post, and was sure to star some of the public elements within that tweet, and says Google does not use these reports to take direct action against violation. These reports still play a significant role in helping us understand how to improve our spam detection systems that protect our search result. So if you're putting that through and you think you're going to be able to tank a competitor quickly, that may not be the case. And Danny also jumped on in another response to Lily Ray about if she was her name would be in a burn book for pulling out so many different examples of AI overviews and other examples of Reddit and forums and search in general. And Danny responded and said, I mean, I know you're joking, but seriously, no, that isn't the sense that you or anyone who shares constructive feedback about our results should not feel like we'd be upset with them. You've been a leader in raising concerns, and others have too, and that is appreciated. So as long as you have constructive feedback, Google is not mad at you. But I don't know, maybe keep it constructive, or then maybe they'll get mad. Who knows?
Yeah, it's been interesting following a lot of people think that Google hates them. I actually thought that at some point as well, because I'm constantly like, Google did this wrong, Google did that wrong, pointing out issues. But no, I think they do appreciate it. They don't appreciate the people who are just like yelling at them and like telling them to like calling them names, like just like baby names. But outside of that, they do appreciate, I think, that feedback.
Like baby names.
Question for a friend, Barry. Do they get mad? Does the Google ad side get mad when people yell? Because I might be on a list.
The only Google, I mean, there's PR people and there's the ads liaison. I don't think she cares if you yell. So
we should A/B test this somehow.
All right, Barry, you be, or no, Morty, you be really, I'll be constructive and you be really aggressive on your show.
Why is it always me who has to be really aggressive? Why can't you be really aggressive and I'll be constructive?
Because I set the rules. That's why.
All right, let's try it.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. So a lot of people feel like they're too afraid to actually share like bad examples. What's interesting is I just noticed the day after, remember the Google AI overviews post that Liz Reed posted like on like Thursday night, Friday morning about our issues. The first link about Google having bad results was a post they did in 2019 about Google having feature snippets that showed like horses had like 6 legs or something like that. And they actually linked to that criticism from like years ago. So
Danny himself used to write criticism about the feature snippets.
That's why he was hired. They loved him so much for all his criticism. So if you want to get hired by Google, just make fun of them and just call them out. On that, Morty, what do you have to say?
We're going to make fun of what some SEOs are doing or potentially doing. Cyrus Shepard, who I'm not making fun of, ran a really interesting experiment where he basically had a page about title tag length that was ranking well on Google, actually ranked for the featured snippet, saw the AI overview there, basically copied and pasted the snippet of the AI overview and readjusted it so like it's not actually stealing the AI overview, which is stealing other people's content anyway, and put it onto his page, and then started showing up as a link in the AI overview, basically saying, hey, here's how you might want to reverse engineer this. Basically put onto your page essentially what's showing up in the AI overview. He even linked to a patent that says that Google's only adding the links to the AI overview after creates the summary and aligning the links to the summary, which kind of would support what he's doing. Glenn Gabe pointed out on X, formerly known as Twitter, or as I like to call it Twitter, formerly still not known as X, that Cyrus lost the featured snippet. What Cyrus mentioned, he lost the featured snippet, and that now Cyrus doesn't get the featured snippet and doesn't get the AA overview link either. I want to say if SEOs start doing this kind of thing, I am going to barf. You're going to basically copy AI mush, regurgitate it for more mush on your webpage, and basically destroy your content's branding along the way. That's a smart long-term strategy. You should do that. I'm being sarcastic.
What does the search leak say? Should we do that? Is there a specific ranking signal that we should look at in the search leak to decide if we should do that or not?
Yeah, it's like called like embed moron or something like that.
There is a lot of embed references in there, actually. So maybe you're onto something. All right, we're going to start doing that.
What is wrong with people?
Where do we start?
Why would you take something summarized down to a little thing and be like, I'm just going to copy that when it comes from all these big things?
It's cool that we're testing it, but at the same time, yeah.
No, that is cool that we're testing it, but SEOs already do this now. They look at the top of the SERP. I'll just copy what's there now. So now what's at the top of the SERP? The AI overview. So let's just copy that.
Yeah, fun. SEOs be SEOs. That's what I responded. So it's good. Test it, but don't use this as a strategy because ultimately it's just going to backfire. It always goes back to Google's advice, like stop doing stuff for Google.
I can't. If SEOs start doing this, I just can't.
What are you going to do? Report to
I don't know. I'll ask the AI what I should do. Probably drink urine.
On that note, thank you all for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.